How to spot a manipulator within minutes. Manipulators are everywhere, within friendships, workplaces, and relationships. They aren't always easy to identify, but their tactics are calculated and deliberate. Recognizing them quickly can save you from years of frustration and emotional damage. Today, we'll break down 10 subtle ways to identify a manipulator within minutes of a conversation. These aren't the typical signs you've heard before. These are strategies that socially intelligent and high-value thinkers use to expose hidden intentions. Let's dive in. Before moving forward, if you are new to our channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future interesting videos. 1. They control the flow of conversation. Manipulators aim to dominate how a conversation unfolds. They interrupt, redirect, or strategically pause discussions to steer the dialogue in their favor. Notice how often they shift the topic back to themselves or their agenda. They're not listening to understand, they're listening for an opportunity to gain control. A common tactic is interruption, cutting you off with something urgent to shift focus back to them. Alternatively, they may let you talk, only to ignore or dismiss your points, creating an imbalance where their words hold weight while yours are overlooked. Red flag. If someone constantly steers the conversation in their favor, it's a sign of manipulation. A real connection is an exchange, not a one-sided performance. Their goal is to keep you off balance, making you question yourself while reinforcing their control. 2. They use guilt as a weapon. Manipulators are masters at using guilt to keep you emotionally tied to them. They frame situations to make you feel responsible for their feelings, failures, or bad behavior. For example, they might say, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this. I guess I'm just not important to you anymore." These statements plant seeds of doubt, pressuring you to prove your loyalty over time. This cycle drains your energy and leaves you feeling trapped in a constant state of appeasement. How to spot it? If someone constantly makes you feel like you're falling short or that you owe them something, step back and reassess the health of that relationship. 3. They overwhelm you with flattery. Flattery might feel good in the moment, but when used excessively, it's a tool, not a genuine compliment. Manipulators use praise to make you feel special and understood, only to exploit that goodwill later. For instance, they might say, "You're the only one who understands me. No one else can do what you do." While these words seem harmless, they often come with expectations. Once you buy into their praise, they anticipate favors, loyalty, or submission in return. Flattery becomes a subtle contract, one you never agreed to. Red flag. If compliments feel excessive, out of place, or come too soon in a relationship, question the intentions behind them. Authentic connections don't rely on manipulation to feed egos. 4. They always play the victim. Manipulators frequently cast themselves as the victim to gain sympathy and avoid accountability. Even when they're responsible for their actions, they spin the narrative to make themselves appear innocent or unfairly treated. For example, they blame their temper on a tough upbringing. They justify irresponsibility by claiming they never got a fair chance. While their struggles may be real, they weaponize these stories to justify harmful behavior or demand your support. How to spot it? If every story they tell ends with them being wronged and someone else being at fault, be cautious. Sympathy is not an excuse for manipulation. 5. They twist your words. One of the most insidious tactics manipulators use is distorting your words to fit their narrative. They'll take what you say and twist it, often making you feel misunderstood, guilty, or even questioning your own memory. This tactic is designed to keep you confused and on the defensive, making it easier for them to control the situation. 6. They twist your words against you. Manipulators often distort what you say to make you feel guilty or defensive. You might casually express frustration about a busy week, only for them to respond with, "Oh, so now I'm a burden to you." This forces you to backtrack and defend yourself, shifting the focus from the original point to their feelings instead. It's an exhausting game of deflection. If someone frequently misrepresents your words or makes you feel like you're always explaining yourself, they may be manipulating the narrative to maintain control. Clear communication becomes impossible when your words are weaponized. 7. They create false urgency. Manipulators thrive on pressure, creating a false sense of urgency to push you into decisions before you're ready. They impose deadlines or emphasize immediate consequences to limit your ability to think critically. For example, they might say, "If we don't act now, we'll lose this opportunity," or "You need to decide today, or I'll have to move on." This tactic is designed to make you act out of fear rather than logic, leaving you vulnerable to their influence. When faced with urgency, pause and question its validity. Genuine opportunities don't rely on panic to succeed. If someone is pressuring you, it's likely about their agenda, not your best interest. 8. They give backhanded compliments. A manipulator's subtle way of undermining your confidence is through backhanded compliments, comments that seem supportive but actually contain hidden criticism. Phrases like, "You're so brave to wear something like that," or "I wish I had your confidence to speak up," even when it's not the best idea, may sound harmless but carry an underlying sting. Their goal is to plant doubt in your mind while maintaining a facade of kindness. If compliments leave you feeling uneasy rather than uplifted, trust your instincts. Genuine support doesn't come wrapped in subtle jabs. 9. They isolate you. Isolation is a classic manipulation tactic. By subtly undermining your other relationships, manipulators position themselves as your sole source of support and validation. They may criticize your friends, suggest your family doesn't understand you, or create drama to drive a wedge between you and others. This isolation gives them more control over your emotions and decisions, making you more dependent on them. Without a strong support system, it becomes harder to recognize their manipulative behavior. Be cautious of anyone who tries to alienate you from loved ones. Healthy relationships encourage connection, not isolation. 10. They overpromise and underdeliver. To gain your trust, manipulators often make grand promises but consistently fail to follow through. They'll assure you they'll handle something, show up for you, or keep their commitments. Yet their actions rarely match their words. This keeps you hopeful and invested, always waiting for them to come through while they continue benefiting from your patience. Over time, their empty promises become a pattern. Pay attention to actions, not excuses. If someone repeatedly lets you down while offering endless justifications, it's not an accident, it's manipulation. Recognizing this empowers you to set boundaries and protect your trust. 11. They use silence as punishment. The silent treatment is one of the most passive-aggressive tools in a manipulator's arsenal. Instead of addressing issues directly, they withdraw communication to make you feel uncertain and anxious. This forces you to take the blame and beg for their attention, putting them back in control while you're left vulnerable. Their silence isn't about resolving problems. It's about creating a power dynamic where they hold the upper hand. This tactic leaves you emotionally drained and constantly seeking resolution. Healthy relationships rely on open communication, not games of silence and punishment. If someone consistently uses this tactic, recognize it for what it is: emotional manipulation. The sooner you address it, the less power they have over you. Spotting a manipulator isn't just about protecting yourself. It's about reclaiming your power and prioritizing relationships built on respect and honesty. The faster you recognize these behaviors, the less control they have over your life. Don't second-guess your instincts, trust yourself, and walk away from anyone who thrives on manipulation. If you have made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.